The ocean is a graveyard. It holds secrets that humanity was never meant to find. We think we have mapped the world. We think we know what lives on the islands scattered across the dark waters. But we are wrong. There is an island, hidden by the fog, guarded by the waves, where the end of the world is currently waiting. Alive, breathing, watching. This is not a myth. This is not a legend passed down by storytellers. This is a sworn testimony. In the 9th year of the Hijra, a Palestinian Christian sailor named Tamim Dari set sail with a crew of 30 men. They were looking for trade. Instead, they found the darkness. Tamim later said, "The waves, they were like mountains. We were experienced sailors. But we had never seen water like this. The storm did not stop for an hour. It did not stop for a day. It grabbed our ship and played with it like a toy for 30 days. 30 days of blindness. 30 days of praying for death just to end the seasickness. The sky was black. The sea was black. We had lost all direction. We were drifting into the places where the maps end. For a month, they were tossed into the unknown. No stars to guide them. No land in sight. Just the abyss. Until the 30th day, the sun was setting. The violent gray sky turned a bruised purple. And there, emerging from the mist like a tombstone, was an island. Tamim described it. We didn't cheer. We were too afraid. The island was silent. It didn't feel like salvation. It felt like it was waiting for us. We lowered the lifeboats. The ship's anchor dragged against the unknown seabed. We rowed toward the sunset. The air was thick, heavy. When their boots hit the sand, they felt a shiver go up their spines. You know the feeling when you are being watched? When you walk into a room and you know something is in the corner? The whole island felt like that. They gathered on the beach, 30 men, shivering, wet, and exhausted. They thought the ocean was the danger. They were wrong. The true danger was standing in the tree line. We saw it moving in the shadows. A beast. At first, I thought it was a bear or a wolf, but it stood on 2 legs. It walked toward us, and we froze. It was covered in hair, thick, matted black hair. So much hair that we couldn't tell its front from its back. We couldn't see a face. We couldn't see eyes. Just a wall of fur. We drew our knives. We thought it was a wild animal. But then, it spoke. It said, "Safely come you are." I nearly stopped breathing. The hair, it had a tongue. It spoke Arabic. We stammered, "Woe to you! What are you?" The beast replied, "I am Al-Jassasah." Al-Jassasah, the spy, the investigator. A creature that roams, gathers news, and reports back. But reports back to whom? We asked it, "What is Al-Jassasah? What do you want?" But it ignored us. It didn't care about our questions. It just pointed a hairy finger toward the center of the island. It said, "Oh, you people, go to this man in the monastery, for he is eagerly waiting for your news." A man? In the monastery? Panic set in. Why was a man living on a deserted island with a speaking beast? Why was he eager for their news? Tamim said, "We looked at each other terrified. We thought this beast was a devil, a jinn. We didn't want to stay with it, so we ran. We ran toward the monastery, hoping to escape the beast, not knowing we were running toward something much worse. The monastery was an ancient ruin. Dark stones, covered in moss, smelling of damp earth and centuries of isolation. It stood like a prison in the fading light. Tamim and his men entered the dark archway. The air inside was cold, stale. As their eyes adjusted to the gloom, they saw him. "I have traveled the world," Tamim said. "I have seen kings and warriors, but I have never seen a human being like this. He was massive. the biggest man I had ever seen in my life. And he was bound. He was not just tied up. He was shackled with a strength that defied imagination. His hands were tied to his neck with iron shackles between his knees and his ankles. He was folded into himself, restricted, tight. He looked at us, and I felt like a mouse standing before a lion. The man in the chains did not ask for help. He did not ask for water. He asked for information. He wanted to know if the time had come. He asked, "Tell me about the date palms of Baisun." We asked, "What about them do you seek to know?" He said, "I ask you whether they are still bearing fruit or not." "Yes," we told him. "They bear fruit." He replied, "Soon they will not bear fruit." Then he asked, "Tell me about the lake of Tiberias. Is there still water in it?" We nodded. "It is full of water." He whispered, "Soon its water will disappear." He asked about the spring of Zughar. He asked if the people there still farmed with its water. They said yes. And then his voice changed. The final question. The question he had been waiting centuries to ask. "Tell me about the prophet of the illiterate people. What has he done?" We told him. "He has left Mecca and settled in Medina." He leaned forward, the chains straining against his neck. "Have the Arabs fought against him?" "Yes." "And how did he deal with them?" We told him that the prophet had overcome those around him, and they had submitted to him. The chained man closed his eyes. He let out a long, terrifying breath. He said, "It is better for them that they obey him." Then the man opened his eyes, and he told them who he was. "Now I will tell you about myself. I am the Messiah, the false Messiah. I am the Dajjal. I am about to be given permission to leave. I will emerge. I will travel the earth. I will not spare any town or village. I will enter all of them in 40 nights, except for Mecca and Medina. They are forbidden to me." Tamim and his men fled. They ran from the cave, past the beast, back to their ship. They sailed with the wind at their backs, terrified that the man would break his chains before they reached the horizon. When they reached Medina, Tamim Dari went straight to the Prophet Muhammad. He accepted Islam, and he told the Prophet what he saw. Did the Prophet dismiss him? Did he call him crazy? No. The Prophet smiled. He called all the people of Medina to the mosque for a congregational prayer. The Prophet stood on the pulpit. He looked at the people and said, "Tamim Dari told me a story which agrees with what I have been telling you about the Dajjal." The Prophet pointed east, toward the sea. "Behold, he is in the Syrian Sea, or the Yemen Sea. No, he is from the east. He is from the east. The palms of Baisan are dying. The lake of Tiberias is drying up. The chains are rusting. The man on the island is waiting.